We're here in the studio here today with what is nearly the stock Tom Morello setup. This is the Marshall JCM 800 2205 50-watt head with channel switching and with the name blocked out so that no endorsements are given or asked for. This is not my cabinet. Normally I have a 4x12 PV cabinet that I use that sounds like my sound. This is the cabinet they had here at the offices of Guitar World, which we're using today, which is going to sound pretty close, but it's not exactly what I use. As far as the pedals go, there's a ancient early 80s Crybaby wah-wah pedal there. I believe it's missing one little hoof. The original Digitech whammy pedal, indispensable to making pterodactyl noises. The Boss digital delay pedal there. The DoD equalizer pedal, which is only used when I wish to go to 11. It's just flat across, as you can see, and then this goes up a little bit. It also has the sweat guard on it there. When I'm playing a rocking show in a hot venue, the pedals would sometimes short out, and you can't have that, so that's my tech, put a sweat guard on that for personal hygiene as well. And then the MXR Phase 90, which I really don't use for anything, but it sits there, and it's a beautiful orange pedal at the end of the line there. As far as guitars go, we've got two here today, but this is the Soul Power guitar, which has been my primary guitar for all of the Audioslave songs and concerts for songs that are tuned in regular 440. And for the drop D portion of our demonstrations today, we've got the new Gibson Les Paul that I've been using on the latest record, Revelations. When it comes to like sort of creating new sound, I never really kind of go into the process going, and now I will create a new sound. It's just in messing around on the guitar, it's sort of different. It's concentrating on the happy accidents and the eccentricities that just sort of occur, and rather than letting that go by as a glitch or as sort of a one-off, I'll practice something. So if I were, I mean, I don't know, just set the delay sort of at a random setting, and then Stefan would sort of see what that sounds like. Okay, that kind of has like sort of a slap-backy sound. So the first thing, you know, and then it's just, I have a very, very simple setup, but by sort of manipulating in different ways, we can see what happens. So that's on kind of a slap-back delay. So what if we were to use the toggle switch with the slap-back delay? What might occur? That's sort of an interesting whatever. Then we might see what happens if we click on a little wah with that. All right, that's something that could end up as music down the line. When I started using the toggle switch as a picking technique, it was on a guitar that had two volume knobs. One of them turned to 10, the other turned to 0, and by flicking between the two pickups, that caused the on-off switch. This one, this guitar was not designed with two volume knobs or a toggle switch, so I had this one put on. But it can work on any guitar that has two pickups and a volume knob for each pickup. So. Right. This one is customized, but you do not need a customized guitar in order to do the toggle switching. The whammy pedal for me was a great invention because I never had the patience. Like when you get your original record deal, you get a couple of $1,000s to spend on gear. So everyone runs down to Guitar Center and buys boxes of stuff that blink. Well, of course, I did that too, and then I didn't have the patience to read any of the manuals and plug them in, and they drained all the sound out. It just sounded kind of crappy. So when I heard that there was a harmonizer in a stomp box, I thought, well, I got to get me one of those. And it was right around the time of the beginnings of Rage Against the Machine, where I was basically designated to be the band's DJ. And I found with some very simple manipulations of a very simple pedal that all of a sudden the guitar, for me, was finding a lot of very new sonic possibilities. I mean, the most sort of obvious one, which was and one thing I've also had, sort of always had the sort of the credo with my pedals, like, you know, subtlety isn't so high on my list of things to go. It's like I used to go, you know, when you first go into the guitar store and you try a delay pedal, you turn all the knobs up and it sounds crazy and it's beautiful and awesome. Then later on, you know, you're playing in a band, so you got to ratchet everything back for you know, a little analog sustain. I always kept my mindset with the first trip to the guitar store to see how crazy it would get. And you know, a lot of things with like the whammy pedal, it's the you know, the 2 octaves up help to really emulate that kind of Southern California gangster rap sound. And it's like, you know, Dr. Dre was very influential in. There's like 4 notes like that with a hip-hop groove underneath it, all of a sudden, you know, changed the way that I looked at music. And I started studying very much more DJs rather than guitar players and trying to emulate those sounds. When you want to rock hard, children, lean on F sharp. Just octaves on F sharp that just bounce the field. And then a little riff that goes. And that's the verse group, which is played with the somewhere on the sweep of the wah there for extra menace. That was sort of like Ghetto Boys. That's what we were going for on that. Was sort of like a Ghetto Boys menacing Houston 6th Ward sound on that. It leans on the octaves a lot, but then adds in the sort of the dissonant notes. On the first chord, I'm just playing those 2 notes and muting the ones in between into the octave. The A string's never played in that. Bulls on parade.